Though we will not cover Chapter 1 in great detail, I do believe there is some material found within Chapter 1 that it is important for me to bring to your attention. Biochemistry itself is going to be defined as the study of the chemical processes within living organisms. So what does this mean to you? My goal as we go through this trimester and next trimester is to really help you link some of the material that you learned in your undergraduate biology and chemistry courses. In trimester 1, we will spend the majority of our time studying the structural and physical properties of different biological molecules such as proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. We will spend a good bit of time looking at enzymes, including enzyme kinetics. All of this information will be essential for us to move into trimester 2, where we will spend the entire semester looking at metabolism. As we try to make links between the biology and chemistry coursework, you always need to remember that as we're looking at these very small chemical structures, they are used to build larger macromolecules. And never lose sight of how these larger macromolecules are incorporated into the cellular organelles. As we go through the course, I am assuming that everyone is very comfortable with the structure of the cell, structure of various organelles, and the function of different organelles inside of the cell. Now this slide is the most important slide for you all to review before we begin this biochemistry course. I will use various terminology of these functional groups. Go ahead and make sure you have enough chemistry background that you can recognize these different functional groups. The first group here in gray, these are our hydrocarbons. Then we move into functional groups that include oxygen in this sort of peach color. So aldehydes, C double bond O with an H attached. Carbonyl groups, here's your C double bond O with two R groups attached. Hydroxyl groups as just a OH. And then ethers and esters, we will see not quite as much. Amino groups are very important, and you should recall from previous coursework there are primary, secondary, and tertiary amines. So what is represented here in this picture is a primary amine because it has 3 hydrogen groups attached. If we replace a hydrogen with another R group, we would get a secondary amine and so forth. Amido groups, we've added a carbonyl. And then our sulfhydryl, disulfide, thioesters in yellow. These are important functional groups. And then lastly, it's important to recognize your different phosphate-containing structures as they are critical for production of energy, and that's one of the main places we'll see them as we go through the course. So please take some time, if you have not previously learned, to learn these functional groups. And then this last picture is simply the structure of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now don't worry, we are going to spend quite a bit of time looking at this part, the structure of adenine, this part, the structure of a ribose sugar. But what I want you to understand is if you saw this, you could immediately recognize this as a nucleotide. Okay? And understanding with these thioester bonds, these high energy phosphate bonds, how we can use that to make energy. So that's just a brief introduction of what we'll do in this course. As I said, the metabolism will really come in trimester 2, and now we're really just focusing on some of our functional and structural units of the cell.